What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about what Courtney Cox talked about regarding Scream. So she was on the Drew Barrymore show. I watched the clip. I typed out what she said. So I'm going to read out my typing of her words, and we'll go from there. Honestly, it's a little bit confusing. So I've heard it probably like 5 or 6 times on my own. I'll read it out to you guys, and then we'll try to decipher what exactly she means by it all, okay? Now, if you guys are new here, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys are subscribed. We're getting so close to 50K subscribers. We can do it very, very quickly, so make today the day. If you haven't already, that you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and hit the like button. Definitely helps these videos out. Sorry I didn't make a video last week. I honestly don't know why, but we're back. We're doing weekly videos, and very excited. Hopefully we get a teaser trailer, all that good stuff. Loads of Scream content coming, and it's only going to get more frequent as we get closer, honestly, to January. Okay, so Drew Barrymore asked her, what's going on with Scream? You know, obviously it's the talk of the town. And she said, now she stuttered a bit. I took out all of the stuttering and kind of just said, like, the words she said. She said, this is the 5th one. It's not Scream 5, though. This is Scream. These directors are incredible. It's a new franchise. It's hip. It's scary. It's just a new Scream. It's not a reboot. It's not a remake. It's just a brand new launch. I think it's going to be fantastic. So a lot of back and forth. Now, I'm not like criticizing her at all, right? Obviously, legendary actress, a legendary career. We all love her as Gale. I cannot wait. I think in a way, kind of underrated, but I don't even know if that's fair to say, because I think a lot of people like Gale. I think she gets quite a bit of screen time and quite a bit of character development, especially in 2. She does a really phenomenal job, but she's a very steady character really throughout the entire franchise. So cannot wait to see her back, and we'll see what happens with her, right? We've talked about, could they kill her off? Could they not? But to me, really driving home the fact that, it's hard, because I was going to say really driving home the fact that this is not Scream 5. Actually, she says it's a brand new launch. So to me, it when I hear that out loud, and this is definitely opinionated, I definitely want to hear from you guys in the comments, because I don't know if I'm getting this right. I don't know if anybody will be able to, right? We're not her. We don't know, or we haven't seen the movie. We don't exactly know what about it really is like is something gonna, I don't want to say the word Scream, because that's too obvious of a pun. What is going to come at us really loudly in this movie where we're like, all right, it's not Scream 5. It's just a whole new, a reimagination of the franchise. And I think that's kind of, in my opinion, what she's hinting at. That it's Scream 5 in the way that it's got the characters, it's got the story, it's got the lasting presence of all this stuff right from the past movies, but it's new. When she says it's hip. Now she's 56. Do 56-year-olds say it's hip? She says it's a new franchise, it's hip, it's scary, it's just a new Scream. So, I am excited because I want to see how radically different the film is. Again, I think it's going more down that line where it's going to feel familiar in the way, again, like I said, the characters, the plot, that stuff's going to feel, in a way, familiar, but maybe nothing really else is. Maybe they're going to redefine horror again, which is something they could, when we've talked about the other leaks for this movie, people that have claimed to see it, whether or not that was true, by the way, right? We don't really know. But there has been talk, if you believe them, that they are going to do some things that, in a way, reinvent it again, which is a good thing. So to me, that's kind of what I get the sense from Courtney Cox, that it's going to feel familiar in a way. It is obviously a Scream movie. It obviously keeps the, what we know of these characters and stuff like that, but it really is completely reimagined, right? Kind of built from the ground up, which, to be honest with you, they need to do that at this point. After Scream 4, which I would almost argue, though, Scream 4 was also that. Scream 4, very much different lighting, the way that they obviously shot it, right, which was kind of off-putting to a lot of people, but it had these characters. It had an explanation, basically, for what they've been doing for pretty much 10 or so years, okay? Because let's just round. And, so it had kind of almost the same thing. Remember, I always find a way to, botch the saying, but wasn't it, new generation, or new decade, new rules, new generation, whatever it was, that was the slogan. And again, that, I think that one was kind of built for that mindset as well, where it's we can't do the same thing we did 10 to 15 years ago. And just like right now, you can't do the same thing you did. And in a way, like, I'm actually very happy about that, right? Because what's one of the things I always say? I don't want you to do Scream 1 again. If the plan to make the franchise good again, let's just say, not that I ever think it was like awful or bad or even bad, because I actually like Scream 4, but let's just say people think that. Obviously, the money isn't there as much as it used to be. So let's say, okay, they want this franchise to go back to like what made it special. Well, let's just copy Scream 1 again. It worked with Star Wars, The Force Awakens, copied A New Hope, and it was it actually, I think, was better in a lot of ways than A New Hope. It made a bajillion dollars, right? So like, why not copy that kind of model? And I've said before, I mean, I don't want that whatsoever. If I want Scream 1, I'll watch Scream 1, because Scream 1 is truly a masterpiece, and there's no like trying to recreate it is pointless, because you never will. You'll never be able to beat. I think they can still, even with the actors and actresses at their age, with like Neve and all that stuff, but obviously you have a new cast. I think you could still make a movie better than Scream 1. It would be very difficult, but I think it's possible. But you'll never do it if you try to copy Scream 1. You know what I mean? So I've said that for months on the channel, right? And to me, I know I'm stretching her words, or I'm trying to find like a way of putting my thoughts into her words. But no, I mean, I do think there's a way you can read those words in reading that, where it's like, it's not copying, it's a new Scream movie. It may feel a little familiar, but it's new. It's made for this generation from the ground up. And I think that is probably how you do success, because again, you can't do 4 again. You can't do 3 again. You can't do 2. You can't do. I mean, these movies are very old. Even Scream 4 is 10 years old. So it's an old movie. And honestly, the movie didn't work. I mean, that was the whole. I'd like to say that it worked, but it. I guess I wouldn't say bombed, but like, they didn't get their trilogy from it like they wanted. So it did not work. So why would you try to copy that? Why would you try to copy Scream 3, which isn't regarded as very good? You can't copy Scream 2. Again, you could probably try to copy Scream 1, but make it original. So, you know, like the hip part of it definitely to me rings out as like, okay, like new cast, new generation, new young faces, and so like more current times, right? Even 4 had a lot to do with like cell phones, and like you had to worry about tracking, and you had to worry about, well, they could probably tell who's on whose cell phone, so like you had to kind of work around that. So it was very, in that way, it was kind of modern, right? Well, now it's even more so. So you have to obviously kind of up it for the current time. So that's what I get with hip. Scary, I mean, well, one thing I've always said is I'm not a horror, you know, if you guys notice, I do talk about lots of other movies, but I don't really talk about horror movies. It's because I don't like horror. I don't, it's not that I don't like them, I'm afraid of them. I'm a huge baby. I don't like being scared. And one of the things I've always loved about Scream is, yeah, there's sometimes jump scares or there's like tension, but it's not like outright like horrifying. It's not like I'm playing, like even scary games are pretty difficult for me to play because I get scared easy. So when she says scary, we'll have to see exactly what she means. 4 went more towards gore than being scary, I would argue, and none of the movies I would say are actually scary. They maybe have some like jump-ins or some pop-ins. They have some like tension moments, but they're not like, we're not seeing The Conjuring, not that I even know what, or like Insidious. I watched Insidious, that movie's scary, right? So it's not like we're seeing that. So I don't exactly know what she means by that one, but I can tell you one thing. I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I know that there was that news story around last week. I know a couple other Scream channels have covered it, that there's going to probably be some sort of marketing push, right? The directors, the writers, the producers, they were all together filming something. So maybe very soon, and there was a green screen behind them, so maybe very soon we get the picture. Because I would imagine you don't have a green screen unless you're going to, implant basically a picture of what the poster is for the movie. So hopefully we get that soon. Hopefully we get some actual talk, because all Neve ever talks about, not to criticize, I mean, she's amazing, but not to criticize her, but all she ever talks about is the letter that the directors gave her to kind of come back in. That's great, but I would like to know about the movie. David Arquette doesn't really talk too much about it. Courtney Cox does this kind of riddle. She's basically like the Riddler in this form. So, I'd like to get more like solidified details on the movie, and I'm sure we'll get that within the next couple months. So let me know, guys, in the comments below, what do you think? How did you read the Courtney Cox best lines or how'd you hear it? Let me know. Again, make sure if you haven't already, you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, all that good stuff. We're getting so close to 50K. We can definitely do it soon. Just need your guys' help. Make sure you guys leave the video a like. Definitely helps. Thank you all for watching. New Scream video every Tuesday, and I'll do more as more stuff comes out. If there's leaks, rumors, interviews, all that stuff, I'll be sure to cover it, okay? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.